But no nation can stand without its people. Every day, our great nation becomes more divided. Politics are tearing our country apart from within as the enemy watches quietly from outside. It should not matter your political party, your race, nor your wealth. If you are born on this soil, the American soil, you are an American.
USA! 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 They would say the most divided towns in the country won't show up, but New York City will. I will show you in every single city that we will unify America. I don't care what city you think it is, baby. Let's get it. Country. And are we going to stand proud for the flag that we hold in our hands today? And not only today, but for the weeks, months, years, and for the rest of our life, say we are proud to be Americans. And we will unify this country one step and smile at a time, and it doesn't matter who gets in our way, we will tell them we love them, and we'll keep it pushing anyways. Oh yeah!
All right, shalom, shalom. Back with another video. Before I get started, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash. Also, we'll give up honor to the elders and apostles that taught me this truth. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there. All right, so this video is going to be the pride of America, man. Okay? Or I might just put America's through. Okay, because it's already written that Babylon the Great, okay, which is America in the scriptures, okay, destiny has already been written, okay, the destruction of Babylon has already been written, okay, we're just playing it out, okay, and, you know, as to the clips I was playing, man, you got some Edomites, okay, you know, you might have a little Jake in there, okay, but the so-called white men thinking that, America, pretty much there's healing for America, okay, and you know a lot of people don't know that America's in the scriptures, okay, it's just in different, it's in code, okay, and we are in the transition, okay, between rulerships, okay, which for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that follow, okay. Esau is ruling this world today, which would be the so-called white man, started with the top elites, okay, because those are the ones that's actually, you know, pulling the strings, you know, as far as on the earth, okay, and you know, it's just the proud of these Americans, okay, which they think that America can't be touched, okay. Now understanding that, you know, America was already set up to be destroyed. It was set up to be a punishment, okay, for the Israelites. Okay. So I want to get this. This is Jeremiah 51:6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense." Okay, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to repay back what Esau did. Okay, Esau and Babylon are synonymous together. Okay, Esau controls Babylon. He runs out of Babylon, which is America. Okay, America is the pretty much on the top. Pretty much is Esau's capital. Okay, he polices the world with America. Okay, he pushes forth his policies, okay, through America, the sword. All right. So it says, "Flee out the midst of Babylon." Okay, and this goes for you, Jake. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? To separate yourself. Okay, flee. Okay, not literally, but spiritually. Okay, from the ways of Babylon, okay, and return back to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay, or you will be caught up in the destruction that's coming to this place. Okay, it's already written. Okay, it says, "For this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance." Okay, for all the things that Esau has done, okay, to the Israelites, okay, he touches the apple, the apple of the eye. Let me get that Salakia. I think it's Zechariah, because we are the apple of the eye, apple of his eye, Salakia. This is Zechariah 2 verse 8. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, after the glory have he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. Okay, because all these nations had a hand of spoiling the Israelites. Okay, it says, for he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. All right, so the Israelites are the apple of the Heavenly Father's eye, and these nations had their hands in it, right? Because in First Maccabees, let's get First Maccabees, where is it at? 2 and 10. It says, her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets, her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and had gotten of her spoils? Right. So these other nations, all these other nations, okay, with Edom, okay, Esau being at the top, okay, all had their hands in this. Okay, let's go back to so going back to Jeremiah 51 and 6, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Verse 7, Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunk, and the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Okay, so the Babylon, which is America, has been a golden cup. Okay, Yahweh has allowed America to become the world's dominant power. Okay, for a period of time to influence these other nations. Okay, and that goes into made all the earth drunken. Okay, the nations have drunken of her wine. Okay, that wine is going into America's his policies, his false philosophies. Okay, America's lifestyle. Okay, you pushed it forward to these other nations. Okay, to where these other nations started pushing it on their people. Okay, and this is America pushing their wickedness throughout the earth. Okay, and these nations are mad, and this is why you seeing nations trying to be more dependent and opt out from America, because they know that America is losing this dominance. Okay, losing this power. Okay, and this is why you have EU trying to come dependent, far as not to depend on America. Okay, because they know that it's coming to an end for America. You can see it. Okay, you got the little nations bucking up to America now. Okay, because America doesn't hold that power as once had, because the Heavenly Father is withdrawing that from them. All right, so Babylon have been a golden cup. Okay, when you look at a golden cup, okay, it's beautiful on the outside. Okay, and that's how people looked at America. This is why you see a lot of people wanted to come at America at one point, because it looks good from the outside. Okay, but then when you get here, it's nothing but wickedness, corruption. It's corruption everywhere, but not as far as America. This Western, how you say it? This Western feeling that they have, if I can tongue twister, but it's different from the West and the East. Okay, and it's corrupt here. Okay, it's wicked. Okay, it's so the cup. What I'm trying to say is the cup looks good from the outside. Okay, from the outside, but once you get into America, you see how messed up it is. Okay, and people realize that when they get to America, and they realize it ain't all how it is, how it was all cracked up to be. Okay, and let's go think about the food. okay, the food. All right. You see how how the food, like if you eat McDonald's or whatever, and I heard this before, how when you eat food from the other countries, okay, different restaurants, you don't get when you eat, you don't get tired. Okay, but when you come to America and you eat, you get tired. Okay, you feel bloated. Okay. So America, it looks, beautiful, okay, from the outside, okay, but inside it is harmful, intoxicated, polluted. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. So therefore the nations are mad. Okay, and the nations are mad. Okay, things not going their way. Okay, like they thought it was. Okay, these tariffs. You got Trump raising up the tariffs. Okay, you got Trump. He's pretty much cutting people off. Okay, his allies from trade. Okay, because they're not following the ways of their agenda, their policies that they want to push. Okay, so they'll cut you off. Okay, that's what type of power America has. Okay, Babylon. Right? It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. Right? So take medicine for her pain. Okay? If so she may be healed. Okay? And it's no healing for Babylon. And people think that that Babylon is going to be able to come back from all of this, and it's not. It's done. Okay, everything is failing out here. Okay, the economy is failing. Okay, it's just getting crazier and crazier. Okay, and it's written that America was set up to be destroyed. Okay, it wasn't set up for something to be everlasting. Okay, it had a point in time to where it was going to do its thing, and it has a point in time to where it was going to be taken down. And we're coming to the time to where America is collapsing, and we're watching the end of America's fall. All right. So there's no healing for Babylon. It says, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. Okay, and this is you seeing you got people leaving America. Okay, you having foreigners, okay, that came over here to make money, to so-called live a better lifestyle. Okay, they're now opting out America, okay, and going back into their hometown. Okay, you see a lot of that happening, right? It says, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, right? Because the Heavenly Father has remembered, okay, Babylon's sins, right? Let's get Revelations 18:4, I think. Oh, well. Yeah, this is Revelations 18:5. For her sins has reached up into heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities, right? Okay, so all the wickedness that was committed, okay, through everything that happened with slavery, okay, how they came and they raped, they pillaged, they stole this land. There's a lot of this land, okay, America was built on bloodshed, okay? It was built on bloodshed, okay? It was a city established by blood. Let's get, what is that? Is it 2:12? See, right. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. All right. Who did that? The so-called white man. Okay. Where? In America. All right. Or wherever he sets up his border. Right. It says, woe means destruction to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. Okay. So America was built on the backs of Israelites. Okay. Bloodshed. All right. the scriptures talk about a land being defiled by blood. Let's get Numbers 35:33. It says, Numbers 35:33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defiled the land. Okay, so this land here is defiled. Okay, polluted by all the bloodshed that was shed, okay, by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood that shed it. Right, so the blood, okay, the land cannot be cleansed of the blood, okay, that was shed on in the land, okay, but by the blood of him that shed it. Okay, so Esau's blood has to be shed. Okay, this place has to be destroyed. All right, let's go back to it says verse 10, Jeremiah 51:10. It says, Yahweh hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. Okay, it's talking about the Russians. Okay, for his device, okay, for the Heavenly Father's plan is against Babylon, against America. Okay, so there ain't no God bless America. Okay. Yes, the Babylon has been a golden cup in the Heavenly Father's, the golden cup in his hand is because he set up Babylon to do pretty much bring forth his purpose, okay, to according to his will, okay. But now it's time for Babylon to go down, right? So it says, make bright the arrows, those missiles, okay, because this is how this place is going to be destroyed, okay, by nuclear thermal destruction, okay, the nuclear missiles. All right, it says, gather the shields. Yahweh has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon. His device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard of the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For Yahweh had both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Right. So it's already written that Babylon's going to go down. That it already went down. Okay. Babylon destruction is already written. So there's nothing that y'all can do to stop it. Okay. Going out there, waving a white flag, American flag. Okay. That's not going to stop it. Okay, and that's just a proud American. Okay, the prideness, the proud of this devil. Okay, not understanding that it's the Heavenly Father that set up and put down these kingdoms. Okay, he set America up, right, and he's going to bring them down. It says, "O thou that dwellest upon many waters," okay. You got America that's surrounded by major bodies of water. Okay, abundant in treasures, thy end is come. Okay, so Babylon, America, your end is come. And the measure of thy covetousness, okay, so your desire to possess what belongs to others, okay, the wealth, the power, okay, how you covet fields or whatever, that's the end of that. Okay, it says Yahweh of hosts has sworn by himself, okay, because there's no greater than him, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars. Okay, nations coming up against you, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. Okay, so okay, there's no make America great again. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. World War III is going to be the end of Babylon the Great, America. Let's get Isaiah 47 and 8. You know what? I'll just start at 1. I'll read down a little bit. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay, dust means confusion. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, no rulership. Okay, so there's be no more rulership. Okay, after this, when this war take off and everything get to where it need to be, that's it for you, right? The Heavenly Father had laid that snare. All right. It says, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, right? So what's going to come to this place, okay, it's going to be nothing like it's ever been seen before, okay? Babylon the Great hasn't been touched. America has not been touched like these other countries, okay? The things that you see happen in these other countries, they're going to happen here, okay? But America, when these things happen in America, there's no coming back from it, okay? It says, take the millstone and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Okay, and this is like going into like if a woman is going into captivity. Okay, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. Okay, and this is why okay, America can't hide itself. Okay, everybody sees America's wickedness. Okay, so that their nakedness is being uncovered. Okay, their shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. Okay, and this is going into when Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, he's not coming back as a man. He's coming back in his angelical state. Okay, it says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Okay, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, that's it for you. I was wroth on my people. I have polluted my inheritance. Right, and this is what you, Jake, not understanding. Okay, our enemies, we are in a nation in exile underneath our enemies, okay, due to our disobedience, okay, to the Heavenly Father. Okay, this is why he's saying, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance. I have given them into thy hand. Okay, so we were given, okay, to Esau. Okay, Esau is the Heavenly Father's sword. Okay, he's his whooping stick to wicked Israelites. Okay, we were given to Esau's hand for a period of time. Okay, till we get delivered out this captivity. That's what you, Jake, not understanding. And giving them into thy hand, thou didst show them no mercy. Okay, upon ancients hast thou very laid that low. Okay, and Esau showed us no mercy. Okay, kept his wrath perpetual. Okay, when our iniquity had an end, okay, he kept going. Okay, he afforded the affliction. Right? It says, upon the ancients has thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou dost not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Right? So you Edomites, you don't get your latter end, man. The latter end of America is America being destroyed. That's it. Okay. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I will not sit as a widow, neither shall I know loss of children. And that's the pride of America. Okay, that's the pride of Esau, Edom. Okay, thinking with his technology, thinking that he can now box with Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, when Yahweh Bashem Shai gave them that technology, okay, he was given power, okay, to take peace from the earth. Verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. Okay, going to widowhood meaning you lose your power, your protection. your allies. Okay? They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and no else beside me. Okay? So we see the proud of America, man. Okay? America is through. Okay? So there's no coming back. You can wave the red and blue flag. Okay, but that's it. All right? America is through. Done. Finito. Throughski. All right. But that's all I got to the spirit, man. I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say shalom.